In the heart of a quiet village, where time seemed to pass more slowly, lived a young woman named Melissa. She was known for her serene beauty, but also for the sadness hidden in her eyes. Loneliness was her most faithful companion, and the days in the village passed like a gentle breeze, without major events to break the monotony. Melissa spent hours sitting by the lake, watching the reflection of the mountains in the calm waters, dreaming of adventures and friendships that seemed distant from her reality. One night, when the full moon illuminated the sky with a silver glow, something different happened. A mysterious woman appeared at Melissa's door, asking for shelter. Her name was also Melissa, and her presence seemed surrounded by an air of mystery. The young woman, though surprised, did not hesitate to offer hospitality to the stranger. They spent the night talking, sharing life stories, and laughing like old friends. Melissa felt an immediate connection with the visitor, something she had never experienced before. However, as the days passed, strange things began to happen in the village. Several women started reporting strange dreams and inexplicable disappearances of animals. The nights seemed darker and colder, and a sense of unease hung in the air. Melissa, though intrigued, could not shake the feeling that there was more behind the arrival of her new friend. One morning, while walking through the nearby forest, Melissa encountered a man who was watching her from afar. He had a striking presence, with piercing eyes and a posture that exuded power and mystery. His name was Jhon, and there was something about him that made Melissa's heart race. They met by chance, but the connection between them was instantaneous. Jhon was different from anyone Melissa had ever known. He seemed to know more about her than she knew herself, and his words were always enigmatic, yet comforting. As Melissa spent more time with Jhon, she began to notice changes in herself. Her senses were sharper, and she felt a strange energy coursing through her body. With each meeting, Jhon drew her more into an unknown world, but at the same time, a fascinating one. She found herself torn between her friendship with Melissa and the growing attraction to Jhon, who seemed to be hiding a deep secret. Laura, as she was known in the village, also began to suspect that her mysterious friend, Melissa, was involved in the strange events that had been happening. She noticed that Melissa always disappeared during the night, and her eyes seemed to glow in an unusual way under the moonlight. Determined to uncover the truth, Laura began investigating on her own, but every clue led her back to one name, Jhon. One night, while Melissa was in the forest, she was confronted by Laura, who demanded answers. Jhon appeared suddenly, interrupting the conversation. What followed was a shocking revelation. Jhon was a vampire, and Melissa, the mysterious visitor, was his ally, also a creature of the night. They were searching for something that only Melissa, the young woman from the village, could provide. Despite her initial fear, Melissa couldn't pull away from Jhon. There was something about him that attracted her irresistibly. He told her about eternal life, about the adventures and dangers that came with immortality, but also about the deep loneliness he had carried for centuries. Jhon had never met anyone like Melissa, and he desired her by his side, but he knew that this meant changing her life forever. As Melissa struggled with her feelings, Laura was determined to save her friend from the influence of Jhon and Melissa. She sought help from the village elders, who told ancient stories about vampires and how to combat them. However, Melissa was increasingly enchanted by Jhon and began to see immortality not as a curse, but as a new life full of possibilities. Jhon, in turn, was willing to do anything to protect Melissa. He knew that the village was beginning to turn against him and his companion Melissa, and that they would need to leave before it was too late. But he didn't want to leave without the young Melissa, who had become the center of his world. He asked her to run away with him, promising her eternal love and a life full of adventures. However, Melissa was torn. She loved her village, but she also loved Jhon. She knew that if she accepted his proposal, she could never go back to being the same. Laura, seeing her friend's hesitation, tried to convince her to stay and fight against the influence of the vampires. But Melissa couldn't decide. Her heart was conflicted, caught between the love she felt for Jhon and the life she knew in the village. In a last attempt to save Melissa, Laura confronted Jhon. She knew she couldn't defeat him physically, but she appealed to his humanity. She reminded him that, although he was immortal, He had once been human, and that true love meant letting Melissa choose her own path. Jhon, touched by Laura's words, decided to give Melissa the final choice. The next night, under the light of the full moon, Jhon and Melissa met for the last time. He told her that he loved her more than anything, but that he would let her go if that was what she wanted. Melissa, with tears in her eyes, realized that despite all the love she felt for Jhon, she wasn't ready to leave her life behind. She thanked him for everything, but said she couldn't go with him. Jhon, though heartbroken, respected her decision. He disappeared into the night, promising never to trouble her again. Melissa, now stronger and more confident, returned to the village, where she was welcomed by Laura with a warm embrace. Though she missed Jhon, she knew she had made the right choice. From that day on, Melissa never felt lonely again. She had found a true friendship in Laura and knew that, even if her heart was still a little broken, she was at peace with her decision. The village returned to its peaceful state, and the strange occurrences ceased. But every now and then, on full moon nights, Melissa felt a presence by her side, as if Jhon were still watching over her from afar. And though she knew she would never see him again, she knew he would always be in her heart as an eternal love that, though it couldn't be, had transformed her forever. Time passed and Melissa grew, becoming a strong and wise woman. She became a respected leader in the village, known for her courage and compassion. The stories about Jhon and Melissa became local legends, passed down from generation to generation. And though no one knew for sure what had happened, they all agreed that it was a true and inspiring love story. And so, Melissa lived her life in peace, knowing that even in the most difficult decisions, true love always finds a way to prevail, even in ways that no one could imagine.